Question 12, section 2, you have been told to answer all questions in this section, and you have actually been given 40 marks. So that question I've just told you about reads, the table below shows marks scored by students in a mathematics contest. I don't know why they're saying marks and they've given us the mass in kilograms. So I think this must be marks. So there's a printing error in that question. So we'll proceed. This is a question that has been extracted from a topic called statistics, and in our system we have statistics 1 and statistics 2. Of course, statistics 1 deals with just testing you on the ability of getting mean, mode, and median. And when you step into statistics 2, you're going to actually further get introduced into what you call percentile, decile. We have what you call upper quartile, lower quartile. We have what you call variance, standard deviation for both grouped and then ungrouped data. So let me look at this. This means that this is grouped data. We have seen the data getting organized into classes, data based on what we have been given as marks scored by students in a mathematics contest. So I've actually seen the marks here, and of course the number of students, which can also be able to get represented as frequency. And for example, I've been told that those that scored marks between 5 and 14 are 2, and those that had 55 to 62 are 12. So these are the frequencies, the number of times those values can actually get captured in terms of that range given. So to calculate the mean marks and even the median marks, you're supposed to prepare what you call a frequency distribution table for that. That can actually be able to get captured this way. So I can have this column having the marks, and the line is drawn, and the second part can have what you call the number of students or the frequency. And this can be another column, and of course you need to represent that information first if we can proceed to something else. So 5 to 14, we have 15 to 29, 30 to 49, 50 to 54, and lastly 55 to 62. The frequencies given are 2, 12, 24, 10, and 12 as well. So that means those that scored 15 to 29 and 55 to 62 were the same in terms of the number of students in that case. So of course you will first be able to understand that for someone to get mean, you'll need to say mean is equal to, of course, the summation of frequency times midpoint over the summation of frequency. So I want to get the mean. How do I get the mean? I think you can be able to see this. I'll say mean is equal to the summation of frequency times midpoint. X represents midpoint over the summation of frequency. Summation means the sum, or when you add all those values together. So I'll first need to get now X. So I want to get mean, the summation of frequency times X. So that means summation or the sum of frequency times midpoint. X represents the midpoint, then the sum of frequency. So you divide those two. So I'll need to get first X, which is the midpoint, because I know I have F. There's this column that has F, the frequency. So I do not have X. I need to get X. X is the midpoint. How do you get midpoint? Add the marks, divide by 2. So 5 plus 14, that is 19, divided by 2, that is 9.5. Then 15 plus 29, that is going to give us 44. Yeah, that divided by 2. If I'm not wrong. So 15 plus 29, 44, so divided by 2, that is 22. 30 plus 49, that is going to give us 79. And then divide by that is 39.5. So 30 plus 49, then divide by 2. 39.5, correct. 50 plus 54, that is 104. That will be 57. Okay, if I'm not wrong. Let me see, 50 plus 54. That is 104. 2, that is 52. Okay, 55 plus 50, that is going to give us 117. That will be 58.5. So let's get now fx. We have got an x. So you get fx, just get f times x. So 2 times 9.5, that is 19. 12 times 22, 264. Then 24 times 29.5, that gives us 948. Then that is 520. Then 58.5 times 12, it is 702. So I'll just make a line here. I'm going to get the summation of fx, the sum of fx values. So I'll take my calculator. 19 plus 264 plus 948 plus 520 plus 702 is 2453. Okay, let's get now the sum of frequencies. I think that is 60, so that is 14, is 38, 48, 60. So the sum of fx is 2453, and the sum of f is 60. So 2453 divided by 60. So the mean is 40.88. That is our mean. How do you get the median? Lower class boundary, that's the median, plus into n over 2 minus cf, close the bracket, class interval over frequency. So we'll first work out these brackets. We need to get n over 2, get the cf, get the interval, get the frequency, get the lower class boundary. Let me start with n over 2. N over 2 means the same as the sum of frequency divided by 2. So n represents the sum of frequencies. So if someone says n, that means the sum of the frequencies. So n or the sum of frequencies. So sum of frequencies is 60 divided by 2. So n over 2 is 30. Okay. What next? CF. So I know now n over 2 is 30. That is well done. So CF, let's create a column of CF here. CF means cumulative frequencies. Cumulative frequencies. So n, the sum of the frequencies divided by 2. Sum of frequencies 60. It is here. Then divide by 2, that gives us that. So n over 2 is 30. Cumulative frequencies, can be able to create a column and then get that. So we'll have the first frequency being our first cumulative frequency. The second, you say 2 plus 12, that gives us 14. Plus 24, that is 38. Plus 10, that is 48. Plus 12, that is 60. So that the first frequency is the first cumulative frequency. The last cumulative frequency is the sum of the frequencies. So cumulative, that accumulates to 60. So total frequencies, last cumulative frequency. First frequency, first cumulative frequency. How do you get this one? 2 plus 12. 14. 14 plus 24, 38. 38 plus 10, 48. 48 plus 12, 60. That is well done. Okay. So CF is well done. I think I'll just leave it like that. So class interval. You can come here and say this minus this or that minus that. It all depends. So let's see. 15 minus 5, that is 10. 29 minus 14, that is 15. 30 minus 15, that is 15. 49 minus 29, that is 10. So we'll have to just use a different aspect because using that we cannot give us the exact answer for the class interval. So I think I'll leave it like that first. And again, frequency cannot be able to calculate the frequency. So let's come here. We want to see the exact cumulative frequency, the exact interval, the exact frequency, the exact lower class boundary. Lower class boundary. I'll take this 30 and bring it in the CF and see where it lies. This 30. Where does it lie? This 30, where does it lie? In this. That's the most important thing. So in fact, the first thing you're supposed to do, just get n, the sum of the frequencies, divide by 2. As you get that, come and first create a column of CF, because I've shown you what you're supposed to do. Once you've done that, just see where the 30 lies in that CF. It lies here. It can be found in 38. So this is the most important class for us. Correct. Once you've done that, you can now come here and say lower class. I'll just take 30 minus 0.5. I'll get the lower class. So lower class boundary will now be equal to, so 30 minus 0.5, that is 25.5. Not 25, actually 29.5. 30 minus 0.5, 29.5. So as I've known that one, the frequency will be 24. You can see now, it even makes your work very easier. Interval, you take the lower, then from the upper. So upper 49.5, lower 29.5. So 49.5, then 29.5, so 49.5 minus 29.5. So the interval is 20. Class interval is 20. So you see. And next, we'll now come here and get the cumulative frequency. Always pick the cumulative frequency above that class, which is now 14. So CF above. This is the class, and the CF above the class is 14. You can see that. But the frequency, pick the frequency in the same class, that F. This one here. So the CF, it should be above the class. So once you've done that, just come and now place those values in the equation. So just a lower class boundary to 9.5 plus n over 2, that is 30, minus CF above the class 14, interval 20, frequency in the class 24. Put that in the calculator, then get the answer. So just say 30 minus 14, that is 16, times 20, that is 320 divided by 24. That gives us 13.33 plus 29.5. It gives us 42.83. So 42.83 becomes our median for that question.